You got Jerry in there.
That's alright, we don't care about Jerry. Scoot over, Jerry. You're in the picture. You can't hear anyway. Yeah. Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the minutes from September 12th, regular meeting.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes. September 12th.
Yeah, got you down. Oh, we need a motion. I didn't know myself.
What?
Yours.
First time one said that to me. I need a motion to approve the minutes. Oh, I already said that. Motion to approve the October docket.
I'll make the motion that we approve the October docket and the allowance docket.
We got a motion for that too, to sign the acknowledgement received.
No, I'm just letting you know that I'm
Okay.
going to put that in the minutes.
I know we had to do it, but I just didn't know if we needed a motion to do it.
No.
Okay.
Any questions on the claims?
Nope. All right, everything is signed.
And this is what you funded.
What? Oh, yes. All right, Glendon Wolf, you're up.
Okay. You stand right in here is okay? And everyone has a copy. And does anyone else need a copy? Would you like a copy? All right. Welcome to everyone, and thank you for asking me to come once again to try to explain this. I don't know how many understand health insurance or how many want to understand health insurance. But it's that time of year when the group health insurance for the town comes up for renewal. And what you have that I've offered information to Pat there to share with you is the
Every time.
oh, wait.
Make a motion to fix the clock.
There we go, now it's official, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, in the front, and I don't know how much you want me to cover, but bottom line is the renewal for the town's health insurance package renews on 12/1 of this year. And it is getting a 12.3% increase. And as I indicated in the letter there with some of the examples, that reflects one of the lowest increases that Anthem offers when you really have low or no claims. There's always going to be an increase. Unfortunately, that's just the way health insurance has always been. The percentage, if you had claims above the 10% level, starts out about 15%. So it ranges, what we're seeing is between 15 and 18%. But the lowest level that they have filed for is 12.3. So with it 12.3, basically if you accept it like it is and you don't want to make any changes to the plan, then Pat would not have to do anything if the board approves it, and it'll just go ahead and renew for the next term. If by chance, and what I did was, I always do this for my clients, and there's only two companies out there, there's Anthem Blue Cross and United Healthcare. That's pretty much it in the group market anymore. And so what I done is I went through the United Healthcare and pulled up all of their plans that would be very, very comparable to the Anthem plan, meaning that you have in and out of network coverages so that if you have employees that go out of network, they won't be penalized and have to pay out of pocket. And I also went with the HSA plan because you still have an HSA, health savings account, you're still contributing. So you have to stay with an HSA product in order to do that. And then I tried to keep the drug coverage, the deductibles and the total out of pocket so it wouldn't put a burden on the employees. So in doing that, there was really only one plan that United Healthcare had that came very close, and it, as I indicated in the letter here, it runs about 20% increase for their renewals. So it was going to be higher than what the Anthem plan and even the Anthem alternate proposal. So I didn't include it here. I can get it for you, that's not a problem, but I had it originally, Pat and I went through it. But I don't know why you want to pay 20% more for something that's really going to have more out of pocket for the employees. So it's not going to be a win-win. So with that being said, the plan that I put in here in this article here was a plan that was closely related to their current plan. It functions the same way, and it would result in a 10.39% increase, so a little lesser increase than the 12.3 that you're going to receive. The biggest difference would be to the employee would be instead of 100% paid after the deductible, so there wouldn't be an 80-20. Most people are familiar with an 80-20. Their plan now, the plan that's in force, does not have an 80-20. It's a $3,500 deductible. Say for Pat, she's on there by herself, so she hits her $3,500. The difference, the way these plans are designed, the difference between the maximum out of pocket is $6,300, $3,500, so that difference is $2,800. So if she hit her $3,500 on her current plan, the $2,800 would not have to be met at all except for co-pays and prescription drugs. That's the way her plan, it's called a hybrid plan. So everything goes into meeting her deductible, $3,500, except for preventive, which is wellness. That's covered 100% as long as it's in network. So you throw everything in the pot, so to speak, or in the can, prescriptions, doctors, hospital, everything to hit that $3,500. Once that $3,500 is met, and Pat does not require any other medical services, then that remaining $2,800 she does not have to meet. If she has to have any prescriptions though, then her prescriptions would be covered under co-pays. So she would only pay like a $15 or $20 co-pay, what have you, same way with Jerry and so forth. And if they didn't use that $2,800 in prescriptions, it falls off. They still don't have to pay it, okay? Now, with the plan that I have proposed here, it changes from the 100% to an 80-20. So in other words, the $3,500 works the same way. Everything goes in just like normal, counts toward that $3,500 deductible. If, again, Pat does not need any prescriptions, the remaining portion falls off. If by chance she does need prescriptions, then, and I put the example on the back page here, if there's a $100 prescription, she would pay 20% of that, which would be $20. It's almost like a copay.
Right.
So it works the same way. So it's pretty slick the way they do it, but the reason they call it a hybrid is because the IRS, according to the HSA standards, you have to fulfill your deductible first, and then once the deductible's met, then you can have your copays if you have copays. So I'll take questions now. There's really not a lot to it. It's pretty simple. If you need me to explain it more, or you want to do it after the meeting or something, that's fine. Or get back with you. What I basically am looking to do is either renew it like it is, no changes, or do this particular plan and save some money, and the premise would still operate the same way. They would have a little bit more out of pocket on the 20%, but not a lot, because instead of just a flat copay like $15 or something, depends on the price of the drugs. And if there is a change on that, then we just sign the paper like Pat did before we did it and check that box and we're done. Okay. Anyone have any questions? Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I be excused? I have another
You
appointment.
may be.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Ms. Miller, I'm guessing that's you.
Yes, it is. Are you gonna table discussion?
Yeah, we'll table it till Mark's here in a minute. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
I'm Cameron, this is my wife Leah. Leah called and talked to Pat, I believe. Well, we live over in Climbers, just outside Climbers on County Road 400 South. We are starting up a composting business. EcoDirt LLC is our business name, and we are looking for brown material, also known as leaves, mulch, anything organic that comes from the earth itself. We're also going to be doing another part of the business, but we do need brown materials, so we're coming to the local municipalities and counties and trying to figure out where we can get as much as we can get. So we do have we got a farm out there, so we've got about 8 acres that we can store brown materials until we get it into the piles and start the composting process. So we are coming to you guys to see what it would take and if we can get some, I know you guys do a leaf cleanup as I see on your utility superintendent's docket for tonight, and I think Leah's already talked to Jerry on the phone briefly to see about getting it. We would prefer if you could bring it to us. If not, we could probably work out something else, but we need to get your approval before we can do anything. So.
Can you get to them, okay, Jerry?
Yeah, I think I can. I think I'd get back in there and get turned around. I mean, you know, for right now, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to get with them, and we went out and looked.
Okay.
I don't see any problem other than maybe if we dump, depending on where we dump out there, if, you know, I could pull up past the garage, or past the barn, I keep saying garage, past the barn and get, I think, turn back around. It's gonna be a little tight, but I could get back in there for so long of a time without it. Of course, you know, you're gonna be closer to the driveway as you go out.
Right.
And we could always do it as long as we could get in and out of there. I mean, that's actually up to the town council. They finally got the final say on it.
You have a dump truck or you know with the trailer?
I'm with it it's a dump truck with a trailer. So we're pulling
Okay,
we're
the axle.
So it lifts up and then
Yeah.
pulls away from it, so.
then I drive out.
Okay.
I dump and drive out. Pull
Yeah,
out.
so we
I'm
don't
pulling with
have-
the 550 is what I'm actually pulling with.
What, how big's that box, Jerry? Maybe 10 by?
It's not real big.
No.
It's not real big. I'm guessing maybe 4 cubic yards, something like that. I'm not really sure. I'd have to measure. I could tell you then, but.
How long a trip is it out there, Jerry?
Huh?
How long a trip is it out there? I mean, I drive climbers all the time.
I'm guessing
15 minutes.
from here,
It's 14.
15 minutes or so, something like that, I'm guessing.
They're just the first place, you go up to Heartland, first place on.
Yeah, first left.
Yeah, Justice Place, yeah.
I mean, we could do that. There's times it's kind of hard to get off of a driveway, you know, so we kind of we keep our options open. I mean, and that's, like I
It's
said,
pretty,
it's actually
it
up
gets
to,
pretty heavy.
it's actually up to the council. Yeah, that's the reason I required, it's a combination of the two, so I'm required, I think it's, total combination, I think we're 33,000 pounds, I think, so.
Okay.
Combination of the two.
I'm not worried about, there's blacktop there, what's remaining of a blacktop drive. I've already got in my head, and we've already discussed that we're gonna need reinforced gravel, because, to be honest, our future plans down the road, may include deliveries of even heavier trucks. So, I'm not opposed at any point to strengthen the driveway, or if there any damage does occur to it, we'll, you know, for now, I think it's strong enough.
Right. Do you have like a bucket tractor that you're gonna move the stuff
Yes.
We
back?
have equipment that
So
will
you'll
move.
be able to keep, so he won't just keep dumping clothes?
No.
Right.
Okay.
So once you get back there, you'd be able to theoretically
Yeah.
keep them coming
Yeah.
to
Of course,
basically the same spot.
I've always got other choices where to dump at too, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Right, yeah.
But,
We have several entryways into our pasture that we can.
Yeah,
that we
if
can
it,
utilize.
yeah, if it's dry, and I am gonna take out some sections of fence at the gates, because he's been out there and seen it, and the driveway goes back to almost like a corral area, like a short barn lot.
Right.
And it's gated off. but we can go through and out to the pasture, and that's actually where we're gonna do the piles of the material. So we could go back there if it's dry and if his clearance can make, but I'm actually gonna take out extra sections of fence, anticipating bigger equipment down the road.
Yeah, I'm guessing there won't be a lot the next week or so, but I'm maybe looking to start maybe sometime next week. As far as leaf pickup, we had it out, we didn't have it out, but we started up today. We're gonna grease everything up and check the fluids and everything, just make sure everything's, but, that's mainly what we're looking at right now. But we're figuring on maybe starting maybe next week.
We have our item paperwork, yes.
It'll be slow for the first week or two,
Right.
You think you can get in and out of there okay, though?
Yeah, right now, yeah. If I get to the point I can, I'll just have to stop.
Oh, sure.
That's, I think we can. If we have a problem, I'll have to just get your guys' numbers and go from there, and see what's.
Yeah.
Now, is somebody around there during the day, or?
So I work a swing shift down at Tate and Lyle.
Okay.
I work a 3-on, 3-off swing shift. And Leah is a stay-at-home mom, so other than dropping off our kindergartner here in town,
Yeah.
and we take our other boys second grade into Delphi.
Okay.
So other than the drop-off and pickup times, we're on.
Yeah, okay. All right, in case we have a question or
Sure.
make a phone call or whatever.
Right, or the first drop-off or anything like that. Yeah.
Like I said, ultimately, it's up to them guys if they want me
I don't
to
have.
drive out that far or whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter to me.
I'd like to see somebody get some good use out of it. I mean, I know we just been dumping just to be dumping it.
Well, we've got some people that's been using it, but still,
And we do want to throw out, our plan is to, we want to be community-based, our business. So we do want to reciprocate, if you guys would approve to give us your lease, we do want to give back to the community, and that's all of the surrounding communities. Compost for the schools, or if you guys have a community garden or anything like that. I don't know if you would need it at a park or anything like that, but that compost is gonna be so nutrient rich. It's gonna be great for schools and municipalities, parks, all kinds of things like that. We just see such a future for it that, that would be reciprocated. You guys are just give us those. We would definitely give you guys those back. And even if you didn't give us that, well, there would still be that opportunity for you guys to get some compost.
I'm okay with it.
What about like tree branches and that kind of thing?
So tree branches, that's a little bit different. We can still do it, but we're not there yet. We've talked about down the road acquiring a chipper, because that's what that's gonna have to do. It's gonna have to be mulched up, just like the city of Logan's for chip.
I got you.
Yeah, and that takes longer to, we're on the very beginning of the science and everything on getting that stuff broken down, but it takes a little bit longer to break down, but we're not opposed to that. But right now, we don't have a means to chip it up.
Now, what are you planning on mixing in with the leaves?
Greens,
Green?
food waste.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to businesses like we're talking
I
to
was
you
gonna say,
guys.
about the only thing that stuff grows really good is gypsum weed by
Yeah.
itself.
We got a buddy out here that he's had a grinder come in and turn it over, and it's the prettiest black dirt you've ever seen, but it wouldn't grow a rock. Every now and then it'll pop up, and like Jerry said, a gypsum weed here and there, but, it don't do.
Yeah, we're gonna layer the piles with brown and green material, so food waste is our other ingredient.
What's your background?
Well, which one do you want? Leah grew up in Monticello until freshman year, and then she came back to Delphi, but you guys would probably be familiar with Leah because her maiden name is Morrison, and her grandpa was Clifford Baldwin out of Delphi, around Napa. So Leah's got a history around Delphi, a good one, but, and I grew up in Carroll County over by the lake, not far from the town of Yeoman, from 3rd grade on till graduation, so.
As far as background, are you asking for like our business sense?
Yeah, your business.
Sure, okay. My background is more insurance, but his dad is a farmer, and so we've got a lot of experience with farming and ag equipment and,
We do, yeah, I do a freezer beef business with my dad as well.
right.
I represent the town of Yeoman too. I was there 2 nights ago.
Yeoman, we used to
Yeoman
live
and
in
Camden are
Yeoman.
my two towns.
Yeah, we used to live in Yeoman, we lived in Yeoman for 8 years.
Yeah.
All 92 homes up there, 92,
Oh, wow.
95. or something,
Yeah.
whatever.
So this is basically our first business venture as far as, you know, getting official approval from the state, the LLC, having,
Dealing with ordinances
Yeah.
and,
with communities
taking the
and
right
boards
steps.
and things like that, but we, I've done freezer beef now, so we've done that for 7 years?
Mhm.
So we do have a little bit of business sense on that side, but this is kind of new for us as far as a lot of the other things.
If Jerry doesn't see a problem with it, I don't either, so
Okay.
I'll make a motion, we do it. Let him have it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, Jerry, you're up.
Okay, Sean here, might need that first. I did get another quote today, off of Farrs Enterprises. You guys wanted me to get another quote, on that dump truck. He did come in at $69.30, just to
Are you talking?
repair it and paint. The only thing it doesn't have on it is, that I know of, is replacing the hinges on the back of it. He said he's not capable of doing that. Now, compare it to what we had on the, other quote. Like I said, it was a $69.30 without hinges replaced, which we do need the hinges replaced on that one. And then over at floor, we talked to the painter plus and that come in total together then was $71.46. And of course, I talked to Linco at replacing the bed, and that come with replacing the bed and lights. And I talked to them about waiting until spring to do that if they did. That also, like I said, that was lights and everything, and painted and undercoated at the bottom. And that's replacing hinges. That originally come in at $10,796. But he said as much as the tariffs are coming in right now and different things, he says by spring you might want to bring that up to about $12,500 just in case. He said he's not sure what it would come in at because of that. He said because the price of steel, different materials going up. He says I could make the price on something and 8 days later it's changed drastically. He said that's.
Was that other bed undercoated?
Huh?
Was that other bed undercoated?
The one we have
When
now.
bought it?
Yeah.
It was?
Well, it was real lightly undercoated.
Okay.
It was some sort of undercoating. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I can look and see what they're saying here if you'd like.
I'm all with going with the new, but, do we need to encumber money since we ain't gonna do it till spring, or how are we gonna do this?
If we get a signed contract, we can encumber, otherwise we'll just have to use 2019 money.
Okay.
Yeah, see, now I told him if we'd done that, we would get back with him towards the end of the year. Of course, he does a lot of county work and different things like that, so he's familiar with that.
We'll get a hold of him and get us on the,
Get us a
if
written,
it's
yeah,
okay.
no, yeah, we need to get a written bid. I agree.
And get it going, so that way in the springtime, we
Yeah,
can run it
yeah.
up there and we can get it done.
Cause I don't want to fool with taking it 2 different places. Let's get it done in one spot, and it's got the
And it's
lights,
new.
and it's new.
and, you know,
Yeah, see, this one lasted,
yeah,
those
11
put
years.
on there built in 2007, so.
11 years.
I agree.
I'll make a motion that we, do our due diligence to do the Linco and get Jerry rolling on that.
I'll second that. You get a written quote and get it back
Okay,
to
but
us.
like
so
I
we can
said,
lock it
it's-
down.
It might be a little
Yeah,
higher. but
I
it's gonna be
understand.
wait till like middle of November or,
Well, let's get it before next month's meeting so we can go ahead and encumber the money for next year.
Okay,
And we'll go ahead and raise it to 2,000 just in case.
All right.
Let's get it locked in.
okay, all right. Okay,
And having a bunch of meetings back there, they're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be, yeah. Well, I know she's putting her down.
now, I've had a couple people ask about working on these alleys like they did before.
F&K, you mean?
Yeah, well, it's actually was Rusty Good, he does that on his own.
Oh, yeah.
Did you want me to see if I can get a price on that, or what would you guys, I know we've patched a few places in the alleys, but,
It ought to be soft enough to turn up.
No, well, he's got that thing
I know,
that
that's
breaks
what
it
I'm
up,
saying,
it'll
it'll
break
turn
it
it
up
up
pretty,
real
it could be hard cement, and it'll break it up pretty good. I mean, would you like me to see if he's be
Yeah, see
interested,
if
or?
see if he's still gonna do it.
Okay,
If we keep him done, then we,
They don't get out of hand.
because he pays, we charge him.
yeah,
by
I'll
the
see if I can
hour.
get him in here and
See what he says.
get a price on something, let you know. Okay, one other thing, would one of you guys like to get with me and maybe look at maybe some trees, later on towards the end of the year for cutting? I mean, there's a few of them that could be removed. And we also had a lady that you guys had questioned once before here on Water Street. Yeah,
Penny?
yeah. She said we could take it out if we wanted it.
We could, that's the one that would be on the sidewalk we looked at replacing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering if we do that, of course, he's still gotta come in and do the one up on Monroe.
Yeah.
He's just been kinda waiting for the weather because of how hot has this been and everything. Of course,
Well, he-
did one of you guys would you like to get with me and we could go around? I see a couple other trees that's really questionable. I'd like to have you take a look at.
Yeah, we can do that, we'll just deal with you.
We got mine.
Well, you'd have to ask the money lady. You can't ask me. I'm just, I gotta get prices and everything for she can give you the okay.
It'll come out straight.
Okay.
Well, what do you got for the
Yeah, that's
stormwater
big,
project?
Huh?
Stormwater project, where are they at? I was hoping Ken would be here. I thought they were starting this week.
Well, I was under the impression they might show up sometime next week just to start locating. Now, that's what I got from Pat. She talked to Ken.
I talked to Ken, and he said the concrete, the guy that's making the pipe, said they were 2 weeks out, and that was last week, so,
Another weekend.
yeah, so.
What's Peerless doing at the water plant?
They haven't got back with me. I talked to one guy that worked there the other day, and he said that they're running about a month behind on everything as far as quotes and bids and everything. So
What's it
that's
for your dual stage pump? Is that what this is about? What's this about for?
price on the iron filter.
Oh, the iron filter.
Yeah, it's due. Our tests are not bad on the manganese remover. Iron's still good, but you know, with the anthracite in the top of the filter, it takes the manganese out of the water. And of course, it's jumping around all over the place. The raw is. We test it before the filter, after the filter, and then out in distribution every day. Just to make, well, plus iron and several other things, but the manganese is anywhere from 0.03 up to 0.19. And it's really, I haven't seen it that way only in the last 6 months or so. And I've talked to them about it a little bit. And they suspicion that maybe the wells need to be cleaned. Of course, your water will change. You know, it's coming from the north. Both wells are testing a little different than they were as far as the manganese. But your anthracite helps take that out when you add potassium permanganate to it. So, and it's been since 2000 or November of '99 that we've had that online. So you're looking 20 years. You really need to really look at having stuff checked on your filter, see what it needs. And of course, they'll test our wells the first time to give us a base point. Of course, they've done back in '99. They've done both wells, cleaned them and stuff. But they'll test them and give us a base point so we know where we're at and see what it compares to when the last time I was in. They'll do that at no charge. And then the next year, you come in to test it. If we want them to come in and test each year, they'll charge you so much per well.
Right.
I mean, I do a drawdown on them and static water level, you know, periodically on each well, but to find out what they're compared to from previous months. But and they're not a lot. There's not a lot of difference, but that still doesn't mean anything as far as pumping, or, you know, pumping capacity. It can change some. And that's about it.
Okay, nothing else. Okay. Jim.
I had 15 calls for service. Not sure on the deputy marshal. I don't think he had a whole lot the first day.
There was a call for service.
Yeah, he was a little tied up. 2 animal complaints, 5 traffic contacts, and I recovered some property and returned that to the owner.
Have you heard anything about bikes being stolen and spray painted yellow?
Yeah, I took a report on that.
Yeah, it's showing up. Somebody, my daughter had said something.
And
Somebody
there was a
told her.
bunch of bicycles that were dumped
It's down the street from you now.
Yeah, I saw
The one
it. on the
is.
corner. Yeah, I saw it.
Because I set some out, we had no paperwork or anything other than
If I
3
pick,
bikes were reported and 2, I guess I should, and 2 have been recovered, 1's still missing. But none of those that were dumped match any of the ones that were taken. So I don't know if somebody just dumped these, they're junk,
I
bikes.
saw it over here, but
I saw them by the
Yeah, I
dumpster.
saw
yeah, the one disappeared like the day after she set them out by the thing. It disappeared and it's up the street there, right down the street from you.
Yeah, on the corner.
You and Pat.
Yeah.
If you guys would like me to, I can chop them up and get them in
We
the
were
dumpster so they
hoping
ain't
like a
carrying them away.
scrapper would come through.
Yeah,
I can't
go,
might have been on a
I'll,
tricycle.
no, Itchy will take him. I'll get him to Itchy. He's the guy that works for Andy Kelly.
Oh,
Take him up there and sling him in the back of that red Chevy pickup truck. It's up there. It's got an army emblem on the back of it.
I'll let him
I'll
decide.
I'll
Have him
holler.
come up, I can chop what off he don't want and throw the rest of it down.
He'll take it all.
That'll be fine,
he'll take
cause
it.
he won't want the tires on it.
Yeah, he'll deal with it. I'll get Itch. I'll call him tomorrow.
And there's still, I think it's in the county, but where the grain bins are, there's still a couple bikes laying over there by gravel, piles of gravel.
Green bins on the other side of the tracks.
So
That's county.
that's all really I have.
Okay. Cross you all. Clerk treasurer.
Okay, we got a lot we're gonna buzz through. I'm gonna give you one of these. I had, an invitation to a lunch today held at the Tippecanoe Arts Federation and NCHS luncheon where they were awarding grants to different organizations in various counties. So it's quite widespread, the area they covered. The table that hosted my lunch was the Heartland Heritage, and they were awarded a grant, and the brochures that you have is part of what they have done this year. They're working on restoration of the one-room schoolhouses. They had asked, they need $12,000 to do windows and doors on a schoolhouse that's south of Burlington, and they were awarded a grant of $6,631. There were 6 or 7 organizations, nonprofits in Carroll County that were awarded grants, and if I heard correctly, I think the total that this county got was $167,000. So the county did very well with the nonprofits. There was some from Delphi, Flora, Burlington. It was a nice luncheon. And I do want to give a congratulations to Melissa Bishop over in Flora. Melissa was awarded the John Kerry Award, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's a leadership in the arts and advancement in the role of arts in the communities. So that was a nice prestigious award for her. And it's nice that somebody in Carroll County was able to receive that kind of recognition. Okay. First thing I have is the 2019 budget. It is ordinance number 2018-2. The budget was introduced at the public hearing that we had at the September meeting. It has been advertised on DLGF website, and we are ready to adopt it if you want. Did you have any?
Nope, I'm good. I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2018-2.
I will second it.
Okay. You need to sign by your name and mark where it says A. Aye. And this then will have to be submitted to DLGF along with the other things. The next thing I have is ordinance 2018-3 regarding illegal turn of water. It was tabled from last month. The main thing with this ordinance is that it gives bite for anyone who should happen to turn water on illegally, that they would be referred to the prosecutor. They would also be charged a reconnect fee of $100 instead of what we have now of a $25 reconnect fee. But because it is an illegal turn on of water, it would be a $100 reconnect every time we have to do it.
Pat, did you add in there about court costs and reasonable attorney fees? Right there, where I suggested,
Let's see, right down here.
In addition to notice given to the part of the county,
Reasonable cost.
in other words, if we
Yes,
go
she did.
forward, there gets on
Yeah, it
civil
says
action,
attorney fees.
we might as well add court costs and attorney fees.
yes,
Is it in there?
yeah,
Okay,
with cost
all
and
right.
reasonable attorney fees.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance 2018-3 for illegal water terminal.
I will second that.
That will have to be advertised because it does have a fine and a fee attached, so it won't be in effect until 30 days after being advertised. The next ordinance I have is ordinance 2018-4. It's the 2019 salary ordinance. It's in accordance with what was discussed when you had your meeting where you were discussing your budget.
I'll make a motion that we pass ordinance 2018-4 for the 2019 salary ordinance.
I'll second that.
And basically that does give a 2% increase except to the marshals because they are just coming off.
Okay.
Sorry.
Whoops.
I'll try to keep my little place here. Move your hat.
The next one is one that, I don't know if you're ready to act on it. It is the rates on the trash removal. With this one, we're going to be able to keep our rates the same, even though the customer charge rate that we're getting from Clinton County has increased because we're going to be using some of the money from the village post office to take care of some of the costs. It does give some definitions of garbage, rubbish, yard waste, solid waste. And with this one, we have added an area where there are instances where citizens might leave items out by the curb that's not picked up by Clinton County unless they charge them an extra charge. With this ordinance, we would, the town, the marshal, would contact Clinton County, find out what the cost would be. The customer would be notified that if they don't take care of getting it taken care of, the town will. Then the town will collect the cost from Clinton County plus a pickup fee. And the extra charge for the town handling it would be $10. And all of this would be added to the customer's bill. If it's not paid timely, they would get the standard 10% penalty. It also lists what they are not allowed to take just because it's stuff that can't go to the landfill, the hazardous material. Electronics, yeah. And I think that pretty well explains that all.
I'll make a motion that we accept ordinance 2018-5 for trash removal ordinance.
I will second that.
Okay, and again, that will have to be advertised because it does have the,
I got a question. I heard a while back that they was gonna close the transfer station. Are they
As of right now, they're,
still open?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, cause we have been picking up some electronics. If we see some sitting around by the road, if we get several of them, we just,
They said their
they
hours
don't
were
charge
gonna,
the town anything, or they haven't been, so we've just been kind of voluntarily doing it.
their hours are gonna be more regular now. They had something going on. It's supposed to be getting better.
Or, so they're not gonna change, they're not gonna close it,
No,
they're kind of
kibosh
backed
that.
up on that.
I believe they did it.
I think you're right.
I think they're.
All right,
Regular
okay.
hours.
So you guys really don't have a problem with us picking up
Oh, no,
electronics, all getting rid of it?
No.
All right.
Not at all. Keep them cleaned up. You're doing a good job.
okay, the next thing we have is the building standards ordinance. I sent you copies of Burlington's ordinance. I didn't know if you had an interest. If you don't, you don't, it's okay, but I just want you to know that there is an option out there.
I don't think we have that big of a problem yet. I mean, we have
Okay.
one, but it seems to be getting a little better.
Okay, so not at this time?
I personally, I don't know how you feel, Andy.
That's what we can,
Okay, I'll just file that away so we'll have it if we ever need it.
there you go.
Okay. The next thing I have is this, time to renew the contract with Keystone Voice for the computer system. The base charge went up only $250 for the year. The total invoice balance is $5,940. That covers the asset program, fund program, payroll, and billing. But I just want you to be aware that that is
Do you need a motion to pass that?
Yeah.
Okay, you're good.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Any problem with that? Still working good for you?
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah,
I mean, you
so
did.
much more pleased. Yeah, I like it.
Good.
I had thought I would be presenting you guys tonight with some changes in the banking, but another bank has expressed an interest in talking about it with us. So I'm going to postpone that for a little bit. A little bit higher interest is what they're proposing.
Okay.
But I,
That's good.
yeah, but I want to talk to them. I'm not sure that we will necessarily make the change, but I want to give them some time.
Yeah, for that.
Okay, the next thing I have is we received a letter from Cassie Lane, who's the Carroll County E911, and Cassie was asking about the tornado sirens. Evidently, there's some confusion of who owns tornado sirens. For you guys, just so you know, Camden owns our own tornado siren.
The one here with the
However, it is electrical, there's no battery backup. It has never been serviced. I don't know what it takes, but I want you to be aware.
no battery backup? That seems like a bad idea.
Well, yeah, because if you have a storm, you're gonna lose your power, but we do have a generator that can create that.
But you still gotta go up and turn the generator on or
Yes.
transfer.
And if it's
Not
a
me.
tornado going
Yeah.
on,
Well, yeah, that's something we do, one of us do, yeah.
I'll be in my basement.
but I did bring the paperwork in case you wanted to see when it was purchased. It was purchased in '99. Okay.
Wow. Huh. I didn't know it wasn't a battery backup. So.
Well, we didn't know it either.
That's a
Because
bad idea.
Have you ever heard of
That's horrible.
anybody mention getting another one?
no, what's my hair? I think I copied the invoice.
Somebody mentioned to me about seeing if they put another one in town because they can't hear that one, so I forget it.
Well, in my own house, in my basement, if I've got a storm going on, I can hardly hear it. No,
You're a block away from
I'm
me.
a block away.
Much closer.
In the
but
basement?
in my
Maybe
basement.
you need hearing aids, Pat.
Yeah.
No, I live in an old house.
Stay out of the basement.
Wanna borrow one of mine?
No, I'm good. I thought I had the invoice copied, but I guess not. I'm thinking that siren could have been close to $10,000.
Ooh.
They're not cheap. But if you're interested, we could look into maybe looking for a grant next year.
To replace or to add?
Well, I don't know if you can.
But where would you put it at? This is centralized, so you're gonna, if you put one up,
Right.
then you're gonna have people complaining at the other.
That's what I was, what are you talking about? Just talking about replacing?
Well, if you want a battery run.
No
If you want
better
that
than
dual
Pat's
option.
hearing, maybe we can put it in her yard.
Plant it right in the corner.
Fix that.
We'll fix you.
Fix that
Yeah,
here.
roll you right out of bed.
You guys want to table that and think about it?
Let's
Okay,
table
but I
it.
do want you to be aware, it is a town
That's
site.
a bad idea. I did not know that.
Yeah, no, I think the county come up one time and added some stuff to it so they could,
Because
set
the
it off.
county controls it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
used to manually have to set it off.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
Ralph's job.
Yeah. There was a key back there in the back of the building too.
That's how I knew there was a town
There's
board
which?
meeting.
Oh, yeah, they would
Because
turn
they
up,
used to
yes.
set it off at the town board meeting. I'd go, oops, gotta go to the meeting.
Remind you guys, Halloween is the 31st, 6 to 8.
Okay,
We will be out here. Do you want a Christmas tree purchased?
yes. What was our budget last year?
I think it was 300.
Okay. Is that okay,
I
Brian?
got one. Do I have two?
I won't say bah humbug.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay. The only reason I'm asking now is Literary will be sponsoring the Christmas Bazaar, and we usually decorate the tree that
Yeah.
evening.
Right.
And that Christmas
That
Bazaar
always
is,
goes good.
it
So,
is,
can
and
you coordinate the tree purchase and get it in the ground?
very good, very good.
That's a fun time. Just setting that up,
Jerry.
that's a good time.
The bazaar was advertised only on Facebook to attract vendors. Within a matter of a few days, we've got 30 vendors. It was cut off at 30, just so that there's some space in the building.
Yes,
So
we're
the
proud of
response,
us.
it was very good, and it looks like we're gonna have some good vendors.
Do we know the day of that? Because
Did,
the Masons. will-
24th, I think. It's a Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Did the library get a booth?
Isn't that the same day
We did.
as Florida's Christmas parade?
Not
No.
this year.
They normally do it the weekend after, or they do the first weekend in December, don't they?
That's about.
Delphi, but Florida's
Delphi.
doing it that day later in the day. I
Okay.
think they're both the same day.
That's horrible too. There are kinds of stuff.
Last month, I asked about if there's an interest in putting a clock in the garden, because Mark had asked that we bring power to the garden, so I asked about a clock. I've been sending you guys information that I've gotten, except you probably haven't seen your emails.
Mark showed me it and forwarded it to me.
Okay, the one model, the cheaper model is, you might as well say $11,000. The next model is almost 13. That does not include the base, it does not include taking power to it, it's just the clock.
It's a lot of money for a clock.
I think it is too, I think it'd be wonderful to have it out there. I don't know that it's something we can afford.
If somebody would donate it, that's one thing.
But thank you.
It is pretty.
They would be pretty, they put Camden up there,
Yeah.
or they fix it up. I have a hard
They might
time.
buy better for $12,000.
I mean,
It's
I
very
love
pretty.
it, but
Yeah, I'm with you, that's kind of a lot of money.
I think it is too. And we don't really know what the future's gonna hold in the budget, so I kinda hate to do something like that. So we're gonna say no on the clock?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You good?
I am, I'm down to old business.
Black.
Yeah, that was a little.
It was,
Oh,
but I had
okay.
that stuff, so I
All right, I
just
thought
gave it
maybe
to
I
you.
skipped the front, okay, I gotcha.
Okay. Oh, I was supposed to get quotes on painting the building. Nobody gave me any names of people to call, so I don't know who to call.
Nobody gave you, I contacted one guy to give you a quote, did he not get a quote? Okay.
Okay, we'll just put that as no update.
Yes.
Okay. And the community director's office, how's that?
Everything they wanted painted, we painted, and then when we got done, there was a little room she wanted painted, we'll get that finished up for her. Wasn't a very big room, we'll get it finished.
Okay. And I talked to somebody about the cost of running the wire to the bicentennial garden. They didn't give an estimate back to me yet. Now, did you still want that? I think Mark was thinking to take it over there for Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I think
Still
it's,
want it
if we
over
can
there?
get power
I
out
think
there,
that's what get power out there.
I agree. We just gotta find some way to get it done.
Okay.
And we can put a light on our flag.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
really
that's
should have one anyway.
It's awfully dumb.
It is awfully
Yeah.
dark.
I think it'd be nice to have, you know, them towers that Florida's got in their park on the bike path. If we put maybe 3 down along the back side, maybe, I'd look, okay.
So like walking path.
Yeah,
Well, they're like they're
Marker
just a
lights.
pedestal about this tall with a light on the top of it, and they're,
kinda like a marker.
yeah. Still off a little light.
Okay.
Utility adjustment request, you'll get with me on.
There's not, oh yeah, I got a note on
Just-
yours.
okay, thank
That's it. Mhm.
Disputed ordinance violations, none of those. Any of the public have comments? Everybody's pretty much spoken.
I might have a reference for someone that could paint for you. I could probably get a name to you. They're down the road from us, they're in Carroll County, but they're neighbors.
Yeah,
They have a
we're
painting
wanting to get our
business.
floor painted in the community building and,
Hmm.
yeah, have them give us a call.
Yeah.
Good.
So nobody else wants to speak? Got anything? No? Okay. No project bids? Council comments, security camera. He said that I thought we had cameras left, he left cameras behind. And he said he didn't leave cameras behind, we gave them back to him. So we'd have to get the cameras. I thought we had them still in the marshal's office, but I guess we don't.
Anybody look for them?
I looked when I was in, but I didn't see them. I didn't look, I couldn't keep the cabinet. There's no cameras. And last time I was in that cabinet to look at the movies, they weren't in there.
They're not in that cabinet?
Mm-mm. We can double check
I
that.
thought I seen them things.
I thought I did too. But I
They're
can't,
not in the metal cabinet back there, are they?
I can't get in that metal cabinet.
No, the one in the back, right there. Oh, look here a minute.
We get done, we'll look, but he said that he thought he took them back, and I didn't think he did. So.
He took them back, but we paid for them, or?
No, he
took them
didn't
back
charge
and we
them.
didn't?
No, we didn't get charged for them, but I thought we still had them.
Well, look at the receipt and see how many cameras we paid for.
Right. But. And then we wrote a letter to Deb thanking her for her committee for all the work for the Miss Camden pageant.
Is she gonna continue to do that?
I think she
Okay.
Camden Women's Literary Club will host this year's Christmas Bazaar on November 24th. Go away and found that out. Santa will be here from 10 to 11.
We got a Santa this
Do you
year?
have our- Yes,
We
yes,
know
we have sent.
Halloween will be on Halloween. So, that's all we have.
Motion adjourned.
Second. That's it. We could drag it out.
Go home.
I need more.
Jerry, you just want to give us a call when you get closer.
Pardon me?
Do you have our number?